like to stay off-grid as long as possible, 2, 3, 4 weeks, as much as we can.
It's our first time having a full-on shower setup like this in a rig. We had a pop-up one before.
One of the reasons why we went to a slightly larger vehicle was to be able to add a couple motorcycles here.
If you look at the aesthetic and design we're going for, I feel like any other option just wouldn't look right in what we were wanting.
Hi, we're Abe and Mel.
Come check out our expedition truck.
Welcome to the exterior of our DIY expedition truck. We've made quite a few upgrades to the exterior. The biggest upgrade, obviously, adding the 13-foot box to the chassis. We added this bumper here. It originally had a really funky looking push bumper. And then the other thing that we did was we upgraded the wheels and the tires. So we got these rims from Dooley Design Co. And we were able to upgrade these tires to 35 inches, which is a lot better for off-roading and for clearance. This truck was originally painted white, so we ended up going with a Subaru Autumn Green. We knew we wanted a greenish color, and then one day we saw one of those driving around and we were like, well, that's the one we want to do. We ended up getting this painted at the Leighton Mako in Salt Lake City, so that was a really fun experience during this build. Moving on to the top of our cab area here, we added a roof rack that allowed us to add some extra storage as well, so we put a Melapron cargo case on there. Above that, we have some all-top traction boards, which are definitely a must for going off-road. We added a Nilight light bar to it, and we also have one on the front of our bumper, as well as we have several on the side of our rig just for lighting at nighttime. We like to stay off-grid as long as possible, 2, 3, 4 weeks, as much as we can. What that does, it builds up a lot of trash. In our previous builds, we didn't have as much dedicated space for them. So this time around, we knew we wanted something to be able to carry that, keep the smell out, and just make it easy to get rid of later on. Due to the height of the box, we definitely knew we wanted something comfortable to get in and out of our front door width, so we added the steps by Torklift. They glow in the dark, which is really cool, and they are retractable, so they are able to basically kind of work with any terrain that you're on, which is really neat. On this side, we have a cargo door that opens up and we can easily access our weights and workout equipment. As you can see behind me, we do have this pull-up bar that we added to this build. This is super easy. It just flips right up and it's ready to go. We have cables that we can attach to it and do all sorts of different exercises. We have an adjustable bench, and we have power block adjustable dumbbells as well. We really like to keep active on the road, and that just doesn't include hiking for us. It also includes like exercising with weights. Up top, we do have some aluminum extrusions that we use for our roof rack. Those are what hold our 1,000 watts of signature solar panels. We also have our WeBoost up there, and we also have our Starlink.
Welcome to the interior of our tiny home. We went with a minimalistic rustic design. We really wanted to keep things simple. We wanted clean lines everywhere, and we went with like a dark, cozy look to resemble a Norwegian historical church. So you can see in our kitchen here, we have a lot of upper cabinets. On this side is where we have like our bathroom supplies, toiletries, those types of things. And one thing you're not going to want to forget is some gas struts, because last thing you want to do is try to hold the cabinet up while putting things away. And then right up here we have just a little decor area. While we do lose some storage area there, we did want to still make it feel a little more homey in here. So we've added some greenery, and then this is a 3D model of a Norwegian historical church called Stavkirke. Because we're not cooking all of the time, we kept our countertops very clean and empty. We didn't put a stove top or anything right in the counter because we utilize a countertop more than just for cooking. We have our induction stove top right here, and we can just take it out of the drawer and put it on the counter when we want to cook. We do have a dedicated space right up here for our microwave to warm up things real quickly when needed. Down in this drawer over here, we do have our silverware, extra cups and glasses, bowls, and then in the bottom we have our pots and pans. In our top wish list items, one of the things we did want was a larger refrigerator to be able to store more food when we go off grid for longer periods of time. So this particular model is Norcold's N8DC. It is 8 cubic feet. In our previous 3 years of traveling, we've only had a 3 cubic feet fridge freezer combo. So this is definitely a huge upgrade. One of the things that people did mention was not going with a black sink for your builds because they get dirty and you have to clean them pretty often. But if you look at the aesthetic and design we're going for, I feel like any other option just wouldn't look right in what we were wanting. So we put in a 16 by 20 sink by Rivati. It's an epic granite, and I wouldn't trade it for a stainless steel one because I like the look of it. To keep it cozy in here and feeling really homey, Abe really wanted to add some sconces on both sides of the sink. We found these ones that sort of look like torches. They are dimmable, and they just add a really nice touch to the interior of our build here. Many people have questioned about going with a very dark build, but we actually really enjoy it, and one of the ways to keep it a little brighter is by adding a lot of natural light. So we added as big as windows as we could to both the passenger and driver side, and we have a little window up front here as well. These are Turn Overland windows. We knew we wanted to go with these because of the features they have. It has some gas struts on them to where you can choose how far open you want. And it has a screen on this side and then a blackout curtain on the opposite side. Right here is another part of our kitchen. We have an upper and a lower storage area. In the upper, we have this nice drawer that houses our oven. We can just take it out and put it on the countertop when we want to use it. And we've also added for all of our drawers in here these nice, really sleek black drawer slides. They're pretty easy to install, but I like how far they come out as well. And the bottom part is our water tank. 42 gallons of water can be stored here. This is for our entire plumbing system. Behind the water tank, we have our Seaflow water pump and accumulator. We have a water drop filter on our entire plumbing system. That way, whether it's water going over to our shower or water going to our sink, all of it is filtered. Right beside that is our hydronic water heating system. So how that works is we have the furnace up in the engine bay, and it circulates back into underneath this cabinet down here. It's a coolant that circulates all through the tubing to run it to our water heater. So it's like an instant hot water heater, but it's very, very low power consumption. Just takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes to warm up, and then you'll get instant hot water out of the sink and then also out of the shower. One of the reasons we decided to hit the road is we were a little bit in a rut, and I had seen some people travel full time being able to explore all across the nation. And I was like, that's what I want to do. It took a few years to convince Abe to move into a van, but also to be able to save up. It was about probably 4 years of saving up to afford our first van, and then to be able to take a year off just to explore everywhere that we wanted to. So when setting your goals and dreams, it's one of those things where it's like it's not an overnight thing. It takes a while. You have to do a lot of planning, a lot of saving, and a lot of setting up.
Having built out our previous 2 vans, we were able to save quite a bit of money doing that. And we took that money and were able to pay a couple friends and builders to help us build out this new rig.
On the opposite side of the kitchen is the living room area and office area. For couches, a lot of times and rigs, people use a foam piece covered in fabric. We've done that before on a bench of ours, but in this tiny home, we wanted a comfortable seating area, and we didn't really find those very comfortable. We found this 49-inch couch here by Step9. We were able to then not use the legs, just use the couch and put it on a box that we built. That allows us to have some extra storage down underneath, along with in the back here, and also some comfortable seating. We found this adjustable RV table mount that we added to the front of the couch, which allows us to have an area for a desk to get work done, an area to play games with friends, or an area to be able to have dinner. Up here we have some upper cabinet storage, and this one we have our light switches and books. And the back one, we have some area for some camera gear. Right in the back is our art wall. We wanted a couple frames to put in some photos that we've taken during our travels. We wanted to keep the design still flowing throughout with the wood black and gray pieces, which match the wall in our bedroom, which we'll show you in a little bit. We work remotely and wanted a comfortable area for a desk, so we have this pop-up leaf here that allows us to be able to sit under it with an office chair and sit and work comfortably. So our entire electrical system, we've been able to compact it down to this little area right here. So we have a complete electrical system by Signature Solar. The top of the roof is 1,000 watts of solar. We've got 2 batteries that are 400 amp hours each. They're server rack batteries, which allows for a really small footprint. And over on this side here, we have a 3,000 watt inverter. With an inverter that size, it allows you to run things like induction cooktops, stoves, microwaves, we got laptops. We have a variety of outlets, both USB and 120 volt outlets throughout the rig. Right here is where you can see the whole systems panel. So this will tell you things like the percentage of your battery. It'll let you know how much solar you're getting in, how much you're using, also how much your inverter is using and inverting, and then also in the top left has a spot for if you're hooked up to shore power. For our insulation, we have it in our walls and also our ceiling. We went with a 3M thinsulate. The pros outweighed the cons for us when it compared to wool or some other options. We actually purchased our insulation from Van Life Outfitters because it was a really reasonable price, and then shipping was super fast on our tight timeline when we were building. When you first come into our truck, you will notice our beautiful bathroom door. It is fully custom made by our friend Kevin. When we were out in the Northeast New England area, we saw a door similar to this, and Abe knew that that was a design he was wanting to go for our build. Every single piece you see on here, all the way down to the keyhole and our iron cut crow piece, has all been custom chosen by Abe. And this right here goes right into our bathroom. It's our first time having a full-on shower setup like this in a rig. We had a pop-up one before, and both options are great options, but this one we've really been enjoying. For our bathroom area, what we actually did was we just used regular wood, and then we put some Red Guard all over it. The seams, we used a seam tape and then Red Guard on top of it again. Right in the top of our shower, we have a light and vent in one. For a toilet, we have gone with a composting toilet by Ogo. This is the Ogo Origin. Has a urine bin in the front, solids bin in the back, and then also has a vent tube that comes out the back of it. For a wet bath setup like we have, they have a cover that will just go over it. So if you don't want to take your toilet out to just take a quick shower, it is protected by that. So far so good. The electrical turner is really nice. Just push the button and away it does its thing, so you don't have to worry about the solids. In order to get up into the bed, we've added some custom stairs, and of course, in a tiny living, you gotta utilize every little space you have. So we've turned these steps into little storage steps. We just have some shoe storage down in here, which is close to the door.
Next to our bathroom area, we have our bedroom area here. We ended up putting this as a north to south configuration, one, because we like sleeping that way, and two, because we actually, later on, we're going to show you, we have a couple motorcycles underneath here. This is a queen size Zenith mattress. We've had these in both of our 2 previous van builds, and if we had a house, we would actually also have one of these as well. They're super comfortable. On our wall, we added some barnwood plank. What we did is we cut those down to basically mimic the shingles on the old Norwegian churches, just made them look slightly more modern. We got them from woodplank.com. The great thing about these are they are truly kiln dried, which means once they hit humid climates, they still keep their shape. We ended up choosing a variety of stains to tie everything together. And for the ceiling, we used shiplap from woodplank as well, and just painted black over that. We've been very happy with the results. To add to our comfortability, we installed this Nomadic X3 12-volt air conditioner above our bed. The vents are multi-directional, so that's really nice depending on where you're sitting. There's also a lot of different features and buttons on here for fan mode, eco mode. We got the DIY installation kit, which made everything plug and play and very easy to install. Tucked away in the back behind our bathroom is our dresser area where we store our clothes, right above our mini garage area.
A little over 3.5 years ago, we were getting ready to hit the road in our partially self-converted van. We wanted to see as many places as we could within that year and find somewhere to settle down. Little did we realize we loved the lifestyle, and so we ended up building a Ford Transit van that had our perfect layout that we needed for full-time travel, and the design was on point. I'm a videographer here at Tiny Home Tours.
And I'm the multimedia content manager here. We were able to partner with Tiny Home Tours and film the whole process from start to finish, which you can see in a full build series on this channel. We originally were looking at F350s and F450s just because of budget constraints. We thought F550s were way out of our reach. We happened to see this particular vehicle come up on Facebook Marketplace. We reached out to the owner and actually found out that it was sold. About 3 days later, Mel happened to be scrolling Facebook Marketplace again, and this truck came up again. And we ended up calling that owner. His business venture fell through, and we drove down to California, I think the next day, and ended up buying it.
This is a 2012. We went with that because it only had 19,000 miles on it, but we're missing a few of the amenities, like a Bluetooth, multimedia player, map, all those types of things. So right here we have this unit from Carpool Ride, which is a backup camera. We're able to Bluetooth play our Spotify, show our maps, all of that right in here, and feel like we have the luxuries of a modern day car and a little bit of an older vehicle, but a nice one.
We did just watch this 2 days ago about life on the back road sometimes likes to decorate your vehicle in the cargo door here. Inside we have access to our water tank. We're able to fill it from over here, and we also have a wash down hose. We do actually prefer water jugs overall due to their versatility, but with how this build works and be able to maximize the water, we went with the tank this time. Here we have our mini toy hauler area. One of the reasons why we went to a slightly larger vehicle was to be able to add a couple motorcycles here. Mel has had her license for quite a while and has always dreamed of being able to ride these around in all the various places that we've been. I just got my license this year, so I'll be able to do that now with her. Super easy setup. We're able to just pull out our ramps from here, place them down, and they just zoom on up there. But overall, yeah, it's worked well for us, and we're super excited to be able to take these in a lot of places. When it gets dark out, we have a switch panel here so that we can see everything a little bit better. To the right, we have our mini garage. To be able to stay off grid longer, we have a couple of storage totes here. We also have our workout stuff back here, some more of that. We have a foldable bench, our cables and pulleys and things like that. Telescoping ladder. Up above on our roof, we have an all-top awning. We really like to have our back doors open, so sometimes it can get pretty sunny. We just bring out that awning and that blocks the sun for us.
We've been asked, what does the future look like for us? I mean, this is it. This is what we love to do. This is the goal and dream we set. We're just gonna keep exploring new places, keep photographing and capturing the memories of our travels. Thanks for checking out our rig. Be sure to check out the build series where we show you from start to finish how we built this thing. If you want to learn more about us or follow our travels, you can find us at Abe and Mel on most platforms, especially YouTube.
Thanks for watching.